I'm already irritated.
Why?
Because Dwayne, man, he's supposed to be here to help with the show. I'd like to introduce a guest, but I'm going to curse him out first.
Really?
Just let you guys know I'm the nice guy in the room, so I'm not gonna say nothing. so we can let her talk, and I'll be humble.
Yeah,
as always.
Whatever. Welcome everybody. You know what? I am very happy today. Today I've been promoting this. I've been talking about it. The importance of African comic book heroes. Part 2. We had to do part 2 because part 1 was a smashing success. Would you not say, Mr. Sorry, I didn't even introduce the man of the hour, my co-host, the Don, Dave Rankin.
I do share this hour.
You do share it.
I can't just be the man of the hour because I do share. And today we are sharing the hour.
I'm sharing it with you. I'm not sharing it with Dwayne.
Well,
okay.
We've already established that.
Humble.
And
alongside the Donette, Simone, Jennifer Smith.
And of course, our producer, the one and only Miss Chelsea, who
Wagwad,
today,
wagwad,
she's
wagwad.
waving, you guys can't see her, but who today is very happy because she's going to be learning about superheroes, right, Chelsea?
Some more superheroes, that's right.
We have a lot of really nice and really good information for us today. We have lots of pictures. This is my favorite part. We have artwork. I mean, tons and tons and tons of artwork. So for my comic book hero fans, for my artists, this show is for you. Let's dive right in. Okay. Wow. We always had an interruption. Let's dive right into this. I'm just going to be asking questions because a lot of this stuff I'm still learning as well. But I enjoy the idea of African superheroes. And I had a question because maybe you or Dwayne could answer this. I was watching Wonder Woman. And I'm sorry, what about her twin sister Nubia? Where was she? In the whole movie, there was even a mention of this woman, and she exists.
No.
So what happened to Nubia?
I don't know.
Where's she today?
I can't answer that question. However, though, they didn't get it right when her mother told her that she was carved from clay.
Clay. Well, so was her twin sister, and where is she?
Exactly. But, she'll probably be introduced as some evil
in the second
adversary, or maybe even the third one. Who knows?
But isn't that what? I think one of the comments, that's what they kind of made her as an evil adversary before too, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so that goes.
So let's get into the good ones here. Let's get into some good ones. So first of all, Dwayne, you went to what's that place called? Fubu? What's it called?
Wow, Fubu is good. Okay, first one, do not disrespect Fan Expo. I was at Fan Expo this weekend.
Yes.
It was going from the 31st to the 3rd or the 4th. Well, Sunday.
Hold on to the mic real tight. It's not going.
Yeah, I don't know. Cause sorry, so it's the artist in me. I feel like I just gotta grab the mic to make sure it doesn't leave me. So my bad. So yeah, Fan Expo, yo, it was the whole weekend. It was enjoyable. You see, now you're gonna make me self-conscious.
Stop it.
It's a bad habit. So yeah, the whole weekend, one of my friends, he bought 4 swords that were on an anime, in an anime show.
Swords?
Okay. Yeah.
So real katanas or
real katanas.
How much were they?
He got a steal, and I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Because just in case he decides to watch this and show his girl, I don't want her to know how much he paid for the car.
Oh. Did you?
We'll leave it to the brother to go ahead and explain.
Which means, sweetheart, if you see this video, this means that he's hiding something from you. Ask some questions.
No. She knows he bought some swords. He told her that.
How much?
He did tell her they were around 300 for 4 swords. But they're 4 swords. For 4 swords, that's a steal.
Those can really run you a pretty penny.
Yeah. So. He got 2.
Just like those comic books that you say are only $4.99, but they're really $30 for the Black Panther ones, Dave.
That's depending on which ones that you do purchase.
Okay, yes. Whatever. Continue, Dwayne.
Yeah. So one sword was from an anime called Bleach. The other 3 were from One Piece.
Okay.
So yeah, they're actually real carbon steel, and they were pretty good.
Did you buy anything?
No, I'm broke. so I ain't got no money to buy nothing. So I went and did some browsing. I I looked at the
Lord.
swords, and I'm just like, oh, these swords look nice. I'll save my money.
There you go.
I seen some comics, and I'm just like, oh, these comics are a lot more expensive than I thought. I'll save my money. So that's exactly what I did. So,
Good.
but I seen like a vintage Batman comic. It was like from the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
And I was running like for $90, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
expensive.
they're-
This comic book game, I learned that this weekend, is very
Yeah,
expensive.
man, you know, like depending on how far back, depending what type of issue may be, like for instance, the Death of Superman, you know, during the 90s, that was a big series, right? So of course, anybody who's holding on to them, of course, can go ahead and cash in, right? Anything going beyond back now, of course, we have first editions, you know, introductions to new characters. You know, these are real big money items. Right, so I mean, I can understand.
See, women, you've been collecting the wrong things. We've been collecting shoes. We should have been collecting comics.
Comic books.
See?
Yes.
Now I know.
There you go.
So now that we've done with the FUBU Expo.
Fan Expo.
The Fan Expo. Let's dive into who are we going to be destructing today? Deconstructing?
Deconstructing?
Is that the word I meant to say? What did I say? Destructing?
Something like that.
Look it up, Chelsea. I don't even know if it's a word
Destructing.
still. But
I don't know. Maybe we should have you spell it on the spot. Who knows, man?
let's tackle some of these people so we can see some pictures. I'm
Yeah, man. So,
excited.
you know, like we've decided, you know what? The last one was a little bit more male heavy, right? So this time around, we started more of a balance regarding, of course, the number of characters. So we're going
I'll just be listening. Today's not my show. I'm just...
You just putting on lip gloss.
That's it.
And smiling for
Listening.
the camera.
Putting on your face on live stream.
For sure. Let's go to the first one. Jet. Should be a first picture nerd for Jet.
Come
I
on,
know there's
Chelsea.
two of them.
Well, shout out to all my Jamaican people first.
Yes.
First and foremost. I know you guys will love this one. So, you know, straight understand that. So, you know.
You mean the street car go on.
You know? So, Jet straight from Kingston, Jamaica, but she lives in Britain right now, you know.
For real.
I'm so done.
Yeah, man. This is a new rendition of this character. Go to the first one. There should be another one there. There we go. Millennium. So she first appeared in this series during the mid to late 80s. I think it was 1988. And you can see her original character in the top left-hand corner right underneath the first M. So you can see, of course, the gray streak. Or sorry, not gray streak, but of course the green, fluorescent green, yellow streak.
Is that why you
Hair.
call the Jamaican Dwayne?
No, she's
she's
born in
actually
Jamaica.
Jamaican. Yeah.
She's born in
What?
Jamaica. She's
Yeah.
born in Jamaica.
Oh,
She
guys,
lives in
big up Jet, yo.
Yeah, I told you like that.
This is a serious
This
situation.
is actually really liked her a lot because she's Jamaican. Like,
Yes.
and that,
What? Jamaica has a superhero?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bet y'all didn't know that.
That made mainstream comics.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that made mainstream.
And
Yeah.
her name is Jet, and she has yellow hair. Why?
I think she was also one of the first Green Lantern Corps. So the Guardians of the Universe. She was one of the first heroes
That they selected.
that they selected.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, so you know, like John Stewart, you know how the gray men, they sit up in the council.
So she's a Usain Bolt of comics.
There you go.
Got
There you
it
go,
now.
right?
I got it. That's
So, yes.
wicked.
So tell them about, I guess,
Tell
like
me
her
about
powers.
Jet, yeah.
Tell her. Someone likes to know about her powers.
Yes, what can she do?
so she has electricity control. She also does she also does energy manipulation. So she can she can see the world in like ultraviolet and
Ooh.
infrared.
Right.
She has flight and light projection, which through heat, cold, and electricity, and magnetism.
Mm-hmm. So the power of attraction and of course
Yeah.
propulsion.
I liked Miss Jamaica. I'm gonna start calling her
She's
Miss
very-
Jamaica.
She's very
Miss
fire.
Jamaica.
Actually, you know
Yeah,
what? That was
man.
one of the names.
Energy.
That was one of the names.
Miss
that she
Jamaica?
Was, that's right.
Jamaica, yeah.
See how I knew that and didn't even know that? That's crazy.
Now,
I
you
like
don't,
her.
We don't want to get her mixed up with there's another character called Jezebel Jet. That's totally different.
Different, yeah.
Jezebel?
Yeah.
Jezebel Jet. That's totally different from this one. This one, if anybody's searching, it's just strictly Jet.
If you want to know her real name, it's Cecilia or Celia.
Celia
Celia
Windward.
That's such a Jamaican
I don't
name.
know.
Celia.
Celia
Celia.
Windward. Celia Windward.
You can see it now. If you're
I
stripping
can
our
hear
dumb,
it.
right?
I can hear
You're
it.
stripping our dumb.
But she wasn't. She was Jet.
She was Jet.
Jet.
She was a wicked guy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, man. So, the Guardians, of course, when you're thinking of Green Lantern Corps, right, you think of someone who's very pure of heart. because everybody who held the Green Lantern ring, of course, was supposed to be
Pure of heart.
Exactly. So you can see the type of character this lady had.
That's cool. I'm just happy that she's. I didn't realize that. I thought you guys were calling her Jamaican because she had yellow hair. And how us Jamaicans like to ton up.
Ton up.
All different colors.
Yeah, when she comes on the scene, they're playing dancehall and everything. That's their theme song.
Seriously?
No, I'm joking.
I was sitting here getting it. So like, wow. She has dancehall. That's
man,
awesome. So Jamaica, you guys are making a preview today. Any Jamaicans, big up yourself.
You know, and then her next bar, she calls out Vibes Cartel and everything.
She could phase them out of jail.
They don't joke about that. People get serious. They might actually call up on her.
I know what, we can't call Jet.
Celia.
It's Celia. We have a job for you now.
Next, who do we got after Jet?
All right, so this lady's name is Monica Rambeau, also known as Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Now, before Spectrum, she was actually called Ms. Marvel.
Okay,
So-
let's see Spectrum.
There we go.
Ooh.
Yes, black and white. You see, we can, of course, you know, she
Like
got
her
like the
outfit.
Afro sheen
Her hair's on
hairstyle.
point right now.
Yeah.
Her
You
looks
see
like
how-
mine. I like it.
For real. So, her first appearance was 1982, Amazing Spider-Man. In fact, this is where this is taken from.
Okay.
Right? Her story. So, I think it was her uncle was working on, or a family friend was working on some type of energy project for like a drug cartel, right? And basically, she now went with her uncle to try and destroy the machine, and well, she ended up absorbing some powers.
That's cool. So
Right.
can she do? What do we have time to talk about what she can do?
Yeah, we can get in a little bit before we go on a break.
Okay, what can she do? Tell me what she does.
Duplication, blast powers, energy absorption.
Okay, so you have to explain
manipulation.
some of this stuff. Like, what's duplication?
So she could probably duplicate herself?
I'm gonna stab you because I probably shouldn't come with the aggression on TV.
No,
But,
not at all. It's recorded.
but no, like I don't know. I'm
We-
not asking you more questions.
Well, you know, I mean, she has to do with energy, right? So
Right.
if you remember Miss Marvel, of course, the blonde-haired one, Miss Marvel, right?
Yes.
Okay, so same type of thing where you know the energy, still dealing with a lot of energy absorption, right?
Okay.
And of course, energy projection.
All right, so I'm gonna have some more stupid questions when we get back.
Not stupid at all.
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Discover the incredible India.
Welcome back, everyone. So if you missed the first 12 minutes of just laughter and foolishness, today we are talking and speaking about the importance of African superheroes. I'm going to bring something up that I've noticed in the first two. So if you missed the first 12 minutes, we've spoken about a Jamaican
Yes.
superhero, which I'm so proud. She has blonde hair, green hair, something like that. Anyhow, her name is Jet, and they call her Miss Jamaica. So for the Jamaicans out there, we got one, and she's actually like name brand, like brandium, right?
Right.
All right. And then we learned about Monica Gamble. Melissa, what's her name?
Monica Rambo.
Monica
Gamble. Yes, Gamble. Let us gamble. Sure dice.
Monica Rambo. And the energy, the powers these women have, I've noticed have a lot to do with like energy.
Yes.
And like energy has a lot to do with spirituality.
Right.
I just find it interesting because as much as we're joking about this, remember, this is the importance of this. Why would these type of superheroes, again, and a lot of these, I'm sure a lot of people don't know about them.
Mm-hmm.
Why were these hidden? Why have these been so hidden? Like, why don't we know about Jet? How come I don't know about Jet?
Well, keep in mind this as well, right? We're looking, of course, from a business standpoint. When in some of these characters, the issues, the additions just don't do well in the market, right? So, of course, they die out. Or they have very sparing roles in, of course, in other superhero titles, right? Which we'll get through some of those examples today as well.
Okay,
right?
Okay, so we're on Miss Ramble.
Yes.
And you were talking about her powers.
If anybody knows about, like, is it Adam? Mr. Adam?
Mr. Adam.
Yeah, so, like, it's kind of like that, because, again, manipulation of energy, absorption. She can also do invisibility. She can change her size. Project images.
Right.
Like, she has like a lot
of powers.
Like, she's pretty strong. Like, she's really strong. Because I know a lot of people do know about Captain Marvel, but
and Miss Marvel.
And Miss Marvel.
The other Miss Marvel.
Miss
I know
Marvel.
about the Caucasian Miss Marvel.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. Like, it's like, it's kind of like the same thing.
So it looks like in a lot of these, from what I'm seeing now, they made, because there's a few more that have come up are going to talk that they made a European version, and then they made the African versions.
Right.
But when I hear about no African versions,
Very true.
we only hear about the European versions. Why?
What dollars? It all comes down to dollars and cents. That's pretty much all it comes down to now, right? And especially now. Okay, so as we know, especially we're watching, of course, a lot of the movies, right, which the comic books are based off of, right? We find that there's a little nuance in their characters or character development, right? So, of course, comic books will do that also, right? So, for instance, DC had a New 52 series where simply, of course, they reinvented the characters, right? New character development, right? And, of course, inserted them, of course, to New Age stories.
So why don't they insert some of these African characters? Like Nubia.
I can also say it comes down to the fans too. Like, I feel like if the fans put more importance on because like look at Black Panther, right, and even War Machine, like those people are doing, like, those characters are doing really
very well
because like, I'm sorry to say, like, there's probably like a lot more black males. Like, they see that it's like, oh, I love Black Panther, I love War Machine, and they talk about them more, right? So they kind of have to promote them more since there's such a big fan base around those characters, right? So I think if
I'm gonna clown you, right?
I know. So that's why I feel like if I think more so like the fans kind of took in consideration to like talk about and promote these kind of characters as like Monica Rambeau
and Jet.
Like, there's some more too. Like,
yeah, let's go through this because I know there's a lot more in this list. Let's continue going because I think maybe one of the biggest reasons that we just don't know about them. So if we're not going to promote something we don't know about.
True. All right. And just to add on, could we get to that other picture of Monica where she's on the Avengers? Okay, so the X-Men versus Avengers. This was a big series during the 80s and early 90s as well, where in fact during this time she was the leader of the Avengers.
It wasn't Iron Man?
No.
Or Captain America?
No, not at all. And in fact, Captain America and Ms. Wasp, you remember Wasp?
Yes.
Yes. They stepped down and made sure, of course, that she became a leader.
That's cool.
Right? So, I mean, not only are we seeing, of course, energy absorption, right? That whole spiritual side of it, right? But we're also seeing, of course, this testament to their characters, which can be molded now in the form, of course, of everyday examples or in classroom examples as well, right? Because when we're looking at morals, right, and characterisms and so on and so forth, or lessons of the day, where else not to put it in the comic book?
Yeah, I think, I mentioned that actually when I was speaking with someone about comics, that there's a moral to a lot of these stories.
Of course.
A huge moral.
Of course.
Right?
Just look at the Black Panther story alone, right? Of course, him standing up against colonialism or neo-colonialism, so to speak, right? Of course, everybody wants to come in, of course, and tap to the resource, right? Which is of course been happening to our people for so often.
Vibranium.
There you go. The richest resource on the planet, right? Or one of the most diverse as well, right? So I mean, there are everyday lessons there, and we can't sleep on, of course, the importance that comic books can play, right? Not only, of course, teaching us, right, or getting lost, of course, in imagination, but for the next generation as well.
Well, let's see what else you guys have to offer. Let's hear.
Yes, Thunder. Can we get a picture of Miss Thunder, please?
Ms. Thunder.
Yes.
Anissa Pierce.
Yes, Anissa Pierce. So the last name is very familiar because we spoke about her father the last time, Black Lightning.
Okay, so what's her name?
Anissa Pierce.
But what's her fire or her superhero name?
Thunder.
And what's her dad's name?
Black Lightning.
I'm done.
What's funny is that he ends up having $2, and there's you're gonna laugh about this one. So her sister is called Lightning, so they call Thunder and Lightning.
I'm done.
And at some point they actually work together.
Yeah.
Right?
That's cool.
Yeah, man. So like her story's been interesting as well. Of course, she felt her power as early as 11 years old.
Wow.
Right, and in fact, upon discovering, her and her father made a deal: get through college, then we can talk about superhero fighting afterwards.
Really?
Yes.
So bun that. Let me tell you something right now. If I found out I had superhero powers
What,
at 11 years old,
you're going right
into
away?
superhero powers. College. I don't need college. I can create grades. Get out of here.
Like the boy wonder.
Yes, like Tunda. Is it? So her name was Chelsea. I have to. So Black Lightning.
Black Lightning
had thunder and lightning.
Yes, he did.
I am so finished with black people naming their children. Why do they do these things?
But they didn't name them that. That's just their powers.
That's
well,
the
not their powers, but their superhero name. Right. Because like she doesn't really control. It's funny. She doesn't really control thunder. Like she's more so of like density control, invulnerability, and super strength. It's nothing to do with.
Okay, so here's another stupid question. Density control. How would that look as a superhero? What can you do if you have density control? These might be powers that we all have. We don't even realize it. What can you do with density control? What can you do? What is that? So you want to name them out, Dwayne? What can you do with it?
Oh my gosh.
Control density?
No.
It's common sense. What are you talking about? Do you not know what density is? But
how would it look played out in real life?
I'm not gonna say because I don't know.
Because you don't know.
I know it.
Yeah,
I can't explain it.
Yeah. All of a sudden now.
So I don't know. You know what? It's not wrong to say I do not know.
Hold the mic.
I do not know what density is. Okay.
Dave, what's density control? How would it look?
Of course, controlling her own weight. Aside from the density control, invulnerability is also part of her powers, right? So they both go hand in hand.
That's what I was trying to say.
You hear that, Dwayne?
That's what I was trying to say, but
right?
I didn't know the words.
Don't worry, we got a wordsmith to our right hand side. Don't worry. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
So the first picture that we shown was for the Outsiders. That was from 2003, right? I believe that series had about 30 issues. During that series, we also see Black Lightning team up with his daughter, Thunder, right? To fight a supervillain. That's the other picture, of course, that we've shown as well, right? So, I mean, it's very interesting in regards to, of course, the father-daughter now,
I like
of course,
that.
the transgenerational, of course, the passing of that type of DNA, right? Something like that also now could be used in regards to, like,
and he was around till his children went to college. That's awesome.
Right? Because
honestly, like that's cool.
Right? He himself, he was an Olympian, and during the comic books, they made him to be an Olympian. Right? You got a scholarship.
That's really cool.
Right? As well. Right? So I mean, he's not ghetto.
He's
right.
How they
portrayed ghetto to be.
He was a father figure to his children.
Even though, of course, he came from, of course, the urban, quote unquote, urban cities. Right.
Right. Okay, I like that. So again, a very good lesson to be showing our younger ones,
of course,
and even our older ones, that like it's anyhow. You already know where I'm gonna go with this, so I'll just stop.
I understand, and also I believe this fall Black Lightning is supposed to have a TV series. Right?
Watch it, everybody.
See, I think it's supposed to be on a CW. I'm not sure if any Canadian channels are going to pick it up, but
if you have the box, you'll get it.
Android boxes. Big up.
You'll catch it on the box.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
I actually pay for my television.
Whatever, Dwayne. Listen.
If anybody wants to know. I use my
Whatever,
hard-working
Dwayne.
money to pay for
What?
television.
Oh, Lord.
for real. You know what
So
I'm
we
saying?
really appreciate having the younger ones join. You know, he's the newest member of Here to Help You. So, like, we appreciate you here. But you realize you're going to get clowned for the first, like, year. Everyone has to go through initiation. And this is your turn.
You could try.
Okay? This is what happened.
Yeah, you could try.
So let's move on to, so we have, hold on, let's go through the names. We have Jet. These
Yes.
are all women.
Jamaican, Miss Jamaica.
Miss Jamaica.
Yes.
We have Monica Ramble,
Yes, AKA.
a.k.a.
Come on, talk to me. Come on.
Oh, Miss Marvel.
Very good.
Or Marvel America Spectrum.
Also Spectrum.
Thank
yes.
you, because of lightning and things. Then we have, oh my goodness.
Come on.
Show me the picture. Okay, her name is
This thing.
Miss Lightning, Miss Thunder, and she has a dad named Black Lightning.
There we go.
And her sister's name is Lightning, but she can't control thunder, which makes no sense to me. But she does have density control, which Dwayne was unable to explain.
Because she hits heavies, and it feels like
We're gonna see everyone back real soon. We have a lot more for you. Don't worry, and more clowning on Dwayne.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Peace and
Dwayne,
love,
why don't
family.
you welcome back and tell everyone what we've missed so far? Since you have so much moat.
You guys missed Miss Jamaica.
What's her name?
Jet.
Let me take away your notes.
wow. Is this a test?
So you guys missed
First day
Miss
at
Jamaica.
school.
You missed Spectrum, and
Yes.
you also missed Thunder.
Okay, can you tell me about their powers, please?
Well, Thunder invulnerability.
Okay.
Thunder has no thunder powers.
Okay.
You know, so and Jet energy manipulation and absorption.
He's right so far.
And Spectrum is kind of like controlling energy, you know.
When was her
Atoms.
first appearance?
Her first appearance was when I kind of searched her up on Google. that was her first appearance to me.
Useless. Anyways.
Well, after we did talk about thunder, let's get into someone who actually does control thunder and lightning.
Who's that?
Storm.
Yes.
This is my girl.
Yes. Yes.
And not just because she marries Black Panther, but because she's my girl.
because she's your. Why is she your girl? Tell me.
Because Storm's she's wicked. And she, again, electricity. How come all of our women seem to control electricity and energy? Do you notice that?
I did notice.
Throw up a Storm. Throw up Storm. I had Storm in one of my postings because she's fantastic.
We see what we can find at 1975. There we go. This is her first appearance. 1975.
Ooh, 1970. She's old.
Well, she is the second oldest female character.
That's cool.
Black female
She's
character.
40 what now?
Who's first?
Guess who's first? You know, one of your favorite characters.
And it's a gal?
It is a woman.
Nubia.
No, from Marvel. That's DC.
And she's black?
Just to think Luke Cage.
Misty Knight.
Yes.
You see how I know these
There
things,
you
guys?
go.
Misty Knight.
Misty Knight is the one of the first female characters. This is the second and probably the most decorative black female superhero that we have.
Storm, man.
Aurora Monroe. So her father was a photographer. Her name was David Monroe. He married an African princess named
Look how she hot.
So this look right here, this is the 80s look.
I might put that hair on next.
The white, silver.
Yeah, man. I might do that. I might do the silver next.
So they played around, of course, for their images throughout the years. So, of course, by means, she's up there. So, of course. Right. So that was the mohawk. Those are, of course, the 80s. The look of the 80s.
Yes.
There's another one from the 90s where we remember from the cartoon where she's wearing the silver white suit. Could we grab that picture there? That one from the 90s. There we go.
I love this one.
This is one we remember, especially from the cartoons during the 90s.
Yes.
Right. This is, of course, the 90s look. And, of course, during the 2000, 2010, so on and so forth, they pretty much went back and forth.
Yes.
Like
the newest one, she has just the mohawk and it's short because she had long hair for a minute, too.
That's right.
Yeah. I
and
remember
especially
that.
now, you find that as well when you find the future series as well. Like, for instance, when X-Men Apocalypse, right? In the cartoons, she was wearing the mohawk look as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Dwayne, talk to me about Storm. What do you know?
All I know is that
Here we
she
go.
is beautiful. She's an African queen. And I love my black African women.
Yes.
This is it. I am done.
No, but I was only introduced to Storm through the X-Men cartoon, the animation back like in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my main knowledge on her. But I know she's super strong. Like I feel like personally, I feel like she's one of the strongest. Anybody who can manipulate weather.
That's crazy.
Like,
I know.
Because like she can do like she can make tornadoes,
hurricanes, tsunamis, everything.
Right. Snow, blizzards, like.
You name it.
And her eyes just, and all you see is her eyes just gloss over, and it's just whatever's happening is about to go down. This is why I love Storm.
But, okay, let's look at it spiritually.
Yes.
When her eyes gloss over, of course, she's tapping into that power.
Into the power within.
Yeah.
Right? And, of course, then being able to go ahead, right? And
control. And she's been associated with a deity.
Go ahead.
Yes, I know this.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
Storm is connected and has strong influences from that deity Oya.
Right.
So that's another reason I like her
There
because
you
I'm
go.
an Oya deity. So
X-Men, I believe, was it during the 1960s, right? And of course, they were looking for some changes. Storm was the change. When she was introduced, of course, in the 70s, there you go. And of course, X-Men is now, of course, what X-Men is today. Right. That last picture that we shown there, with her and Black Panther.
T'Challa.
Yes. Thanks to you, I now have that series as well.
That's right. I went ham. I went to a bookstore, a comic book store. Me.
Yes, she did.
I ended up in a comic book store speaking all types of knowledge like I know anything. But just because I listen to these nerds talk about it all the time, so and now I know.
And she don't let her front. She enjoys the stories.
I love
as well.
them. I love the stories. I loved it, and the series was pretty pricey.
Yeah,
but it's worth it.
Of course, that's the miniseries Eric Jerome Dickey wrote. Right. That's the series just before the marriage to Black Panther. So it is, of course, describes her childhood. How she was a petty thief because she was an orphan, right?
Yes.
Right. And then, of course, she ended up learning her powers, so on and so forth, and now is an X-Men.
Awesome. So Storm, most decorated, one most known. Let's move on to someone else because everyone knows Storm. Watching X-Men. She's been out for a while. Gwan Halley, you played her well. Okay, next.
Let's get to another gentleman that I think you're going to appreciate. Okay?
Brother Voodoo?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I want Brother Voodoo.
I know you want Brother Voodoo.
So bad.
But we're going to give you Blade instead. Can we get a first picture of
Blade?
Yes, Blade.
Yes.
Tomb of Dracula.
Yes.
This is the first introduction to Blade. And if you notice, you see how different he was drawn back then? You can see the afro a little bit. And of course, the colors are totally different from what we know.
It's all black.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tomb of Dracula, 1973. That's where that cover is coming from. 1973. So Blade's a very old character.
He's old too.
Yes, he is.
Blade is how much old? 50 something?
No,
40 something.
in the comics, he was born in 1972. In the comics, they actually had him born in 1970.
That's what I'm saying. So how old is he right
not
now?
1972, 1921.
1920.
He's like old.
in the 20s.
In
So
the comics,
he old.
he's old. Like he's over almost 100 years old.
Yeah, he
Right.
old.
Well, keep in mind, of course, he's the son, of course,
a vampire,
the
so he
mother
doesn't
vampire,
age.
right? She was a prostitute in a brothel, and Deacon Frost, who was the vampire, and he bites her. He's the one that turns her into, of course, and that's where that whole offspring now comes into play, right? But interesting, very wonderful series. They said that his character was created 1 year after the movie Blackula. And Black Exploitation movie, right? Of course, where has Blackula being in the hood, fighting, of course, all these white adversaries, right? So, of course, now we have Blade, of course, fighting.
This is how we all know Blade.
Right. That's of course, that's the series.
And
That's
then
his
Wesley
first,
Snipes.
There we go, right? The introduction to Wesley Snipes, right? But that's his first. That's when they end up changing, of course, the look of the character as well.
Yes.
Right. So of course, you see the two swords that we're normally used to seeing.
The box
with.
cut.
Exactly. Of course, the black leather, right? These, a lot different than what we noticed, and of course, the afro and all of that, right? All right. Now, in the comic books, they call him special because he's a day walker. He's the only vampire you can walk during the day.
Because of melanin, yo. You guys should have known that, though.
Well, keep this in mind.
That's like that.
You like that one, eh? See, I caught doing on that one.
That's probably part
He's
true.
melanated. Wow.
That's probably partly true, right? So,
I didn't think about that.
do you remember
I
Morbius?
remember Morbius.
You remember Morbius
Yes.
from Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
Morbius?
Morbius.
Sorry.
Right. Morbius gets bitten by a vampire, right? And of course, he himself turns into a vampire.
Yes.
And he bites Blade. Blade now, of course, through the whole injection, can now walk during the day,
It's because of melanin.
right? So there's a
know that.
combination,
You didn't know that.
right? There's absorption.
I
there.
just taught you something.
You just taught me something.
Yes, it's because of his melanin.
Really?
He was the only. Think about it. He's the only vampire
Uh-huh.
who can walk in the day, and the
Oh.
only vampire who can walk in the day is
Of course,
Black.
I'm not mad. Yes.
hello.
Yeah, right.
Melanin.
Of course.
You missed that one, Dave.
I didn't miss it, but I'm
Okay.
only explaining, of course, of what was taking place in
Dwayne
the comic
missed it.
books. You know what I'm saying? So, like in the comic books, of course, is a combination between Morbius and, of course, and his DNA. In this case, melanin. This
I love
right
it.
here is a team up between Ghost Rider and as well as Blade. Blade gets a series during the 70s. Of course, he gets a new, of course, a revamp. He disappears for a while, teams up with Ghost Rider, disappears for a while, gets his own series. So he's fused in and out. At one point in time, he's with Spider-Man. Another point in time, of course, he's with another superhero, right? And what was interesting, of course, regarding his character, and you find out, of course, with a lot of the characters that we now are speaking of, they're teaming up with other superheroes. And this is something that Wesley Snipes had a problem with, of course, when he was doing his movie, Blade, his character Blade, right? He was saying this, listen, you know what? I want to be teamed up with, of course, the white superheroes, the Spider-Mans, the of course, the everybody else that, of course, Blade teams up with in the comic books. Because
right?
it only makes sense, right? Very interesting point.
Oh, were you done? Sometimes I don't know when you're dropping the mic. You know.
Sorry.
Drop the
Yeah,
mic.
the mic drop.
Because Dwayne holds on to his, so I just.
She's right.
For dear life.
the jokes today. So.
So I'll be letting you guys know about his superpowers. So we all know about vampires and what they are good for, biting people. So yeah, but he's now immortal, super healing, super hearing,
Agility.
yeah,
Speed.
super strength,
Right.
smell, sight,
Yeah.
regular things. What else? Like he doesn't have regular weaknesses that other vampires may have, like a stake to the heart. The typical vampire,
You know, the garlic.
Sunlight.
Yeah, exactly. all of that.
Those weaknesses do not affect him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically he's
Blade's a man. Blade, we appreciate and respect you. Wesley Snipes,
Big up.
do your taxes.
Stop it. You know, I would like to
Sorry.
see, of course, the character be revamped.
Yes,
Right.
I'd like to see him again.
I know Sticky Fingers from Onyx he played Blade, and of course in a TV series role.
Cool.
Right. So I mean, for those, of course, who are out there, by means, look up Sticky Fingers and his role as Blade, which is it was pretty cool, right?
Nice.
There was of course an anime version of Blade as well, which was very, very like interesting. Where I said, of course, how they drew the characters, the movement, of course, the character, of course, only in Japanese, the animation style, right? So it's variants. Yet, of course, that still, of course, keep the character alive, right? And most importantly, the story keeps the story definitely, within our hearts as well.
So we come back because David love chat when it comes about comic books and superheroes. We're going to finish up our list. And of course, this is only a part 2. There's going to be a part 3. See you soon.
Discover the incredible India. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the time as much as I am today. A lot of jokes, as usual. Today we are on the importance of African superheroes. And we've been laughing it up because, of course, it's always a lot of fun.
Yes.
But we're learning more now. I think I'm starting to see why these comic book heroes are important. And it sucks that I think a lot of our children don't even know half of these. But this is why we do this. Right? This is why we're here. This is why Here to Help You is here is to educate and help everyone learn about these things. You know what? For some parents who want their children to read, you might benefit from just sticking them in front of some comic books. They're not as bad as you guys think they are. Really.
There's a lot of science, right? There's a lot of course.
It's about that power, the power within. Yeah. And tapping into your power and being how to be responsible with your power.
Exactly.
These are all things that are great. So honestly, parents, your kids are back to school now. You're fighting with them to read. They have books now to read and stuff. But you know what? You may want to invest in some comic books. They may make you some money also in a few years. If you're lucky.
It's also good about representation too, right?
Yes.
So it's like, I hate to say it, but it's like majority of the times when you watch stuff like anything on TV, you're not going to really find somebody you could relate to.
It's
like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? We have the Jamaican superhero where like now Caribbeans are like, whoa, wait.
Jet?
We have a
Jamaican one?
What?
Exactly.
Guy, I'm posting all about Jet after this. I'm all about Jet's life after this, boy. You have no idea. But it's very true, though, Dwayne. Yeah. Representation. You make an awesome point. Like, we need to have these things to look up to, even though they're fictional. Non-fiction? Fictional.
No, fictional.
Fictional. I was right.
Yeah.
Even though they're fictional characters.
That's good. Keep it up.
Guys, Dwayne will be here on the show more, and there's probably going to be a lot more jokes, so just stay tuned for all of this nonsense.
Yes,
so let's move on. I'm waiting for one person because I love him.
We're not going to get to him yet.
Okay, I'll wait.
But we are going to get to, of course, to Isaiah Bradley.
I heard you guys talking about this guy. He seems important.
The Black Captain America.
Yo, I posted this, man. He's serious. He's jacked. This guy is jacked. He's huge.
He is.
I love Black Captain America. And his name is Isaiah Thomas?
No, Isaiah Bradley.
Wow.
Isaiah Bradley. Okay, go on. Run it. Talk
right.
to us, Dwayne.
First appearance in Truth, Red, White, and Black. Number one powers. I think that was the
That's the first cover.
That's the first cover.
That's
right?
cool.
Yep.
I love it.
There was it was a miniseries. I think it was either 6 or 7. You can't come in right now. And then, sorry, you can't come in. Right. So yeah, that was the first of about 6 or 7 in that miniseries. As we go through, of course, his character, you're gonna see the relevance, and you're also gonna see the struggle and pain that this gentleman has gone through.
Oh
as
boy,
well.
talk to me about him. This one sounds serious. Go ahead.
Very.
Is there a lot of pictures for him?
We got a few pictures for him.
Put him up, girl. Got to see some pictures.
Right. So he's got like pretty much all the same superhero powers, right?
Okay.
As Captain America.
Yeah.
Right. This is here, of course, later on in his life. This, in fact, is a scene from, of course, Black Panther and Aurora Monroe, aka Storm's wedding.
Ooh.
So we got Luke Cage at the top,
Okay.
beside Wolverine, pushing him is Falcon. The gentleman who's shaking his hand, that is Black Goliath.
That's who someone asked about.
That
Black
is-
Goliath.
That is Black Goliath.
Okay.
The lady in the back, that is Monica Rambeau.
Oh.
Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
Spectrum. I don't remember the gentleman in the green. I don't remember his name. We can always go back to him. By all means, of course, anybody who's out there, please go ahead and let us know who that brother's
Yeah,
name in
who's
the
that
green
brother
there.
in the green with his red tights?
Yeah, the names, of course, it slips my mind right now, but I don't remember. But yeah, as you can see, of course, a lot of them there, of course, are paying homage to this gentleman. And if you can read, of course, what Luke Cage is saying up there, he's saying, listen, this is like the first me. We all know Luke Cage's story, of course, where those experiences were taking place in jail.
Yeah.
Well, his experiences were taking place during the army.
Okay.
300 black men were tested for, of course, a super serum.
Yeah, finding this out kind of like shocked me. I'm like, I did not know about that. I did
Okay.
not know. About
Right. So, there's only a few of them that survived. So you can imagine, of course, once again, we're looking at a prison to pipeline experiment, right? We're also looking, of course, very reminiscent of
The Tuskegee.
there we go.
Yeah.
Right, which happened
Experiment.
for 40 years.
Crazy.
And it wasn't until,
Yeah.
of course, media.
Brought attention to it.
That's when it stopped.
yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
So again, something you had said in the very first time we did this, you said that a lot of these stories were exact duplications of what was happening in real life.
Right.
So that's actually, I can see why Dwayne finds this interesting because stories are very close.
Of course. When you look at now, of course, all right, let's take Professor X, right, and Magneto. Those characters were specifically designed based
On Malcolm X
right,
and Martin Luther King. That's
so,
right.
And if that goes to show you, of course, if those characters were designed after them, who are the mutants,
Yeah. Us. I have powers.
right?
People just don't know.
Let's continue. All right, so Storm's parents, she was born in New York City.
That's right.
Because of racism, the mother wanted to go back home to Africa. They went back home. It's a very true story. How many of our elders who have gone through the same mishap and left?
Yeah. Bounce.
Lawrence Hill, the author of the Book of Negroes, his father, married to, of course, to a Caucasian woman, felt the same way. Didn't want to go through that stuff in America. So they came here to Canada. And by me, of course, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Right? So you can see the stories happening, right? Of course, in fiction, but really, art imitates life.
That's how you said it. Art imitates. I said duplication. Didn't sound right.
Art duplicates life.
Art, art imitates life sounds much better.
Right, so I mean, his story. I
Cool.
mean, it's an interesting story. Of course, you know what? He goes on a mission in Germany. Of course. To,
Any more pictures of him? I like how this guy looks.
Do we have any more? We might have Isaiah
No.
Bradley. See if we have any more Isaiah Bradley. I think that was it. Only the two of them, right?
I had a really
Okay.
good one. If you go on my Facebook page, everybody, I have an excellent one of him jacked. Continue.
You know, the series didn't last too long. Mind you, here's pretty much the synopsis. He goes on a mission in Germany to, of course, to blow up a super soldier camp, right? So the Germans had the serum as well, and they were testing it. So he's successful. He gets caught by Hitler, gets rescued, of course, by some, black Europeans. So a group from Belgium, right? I think there's another group that, of course, that, wrestles him out. But of course, he gets back on American soil. As soon as he reports back to American soil, he gets arrested. He gets arrested, of course, because he has the Captain America suit on. So that's what they arrest him for. He spent 17 years in jail.
Now,
If art if don't imitate life, I don't know what else to say about that. For wearing someone else's for wearing a costume.
For wearing a costume, which was given to him.
Yeah.
He spent 17 years in jail.
17 years
for wearing
in jail.
a costume.
Yes.
That was given to him because he was sent over to do something for America.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
So they completely turned their backs on this gentleman. This gentleman, okay, 17 years in jail. Now, the worst thing is this. Because of the serum, right, and there was nobody there to go ahead and look after him, his health deteriorated. So they said in the comics that during the end, he was pretty much like a child, in a childlike state. Right? So you can see the severity, right? So once again, also imitating life.
Imitating life again.
Right?
Yeah.
Tuskegee, right?
Yeah.
What's the island that Tasmania, with all the American experience, and they wiped out
Everybody.
the whole nation of people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we can see this happening, right? Captain America finds out what happened. So of course he decides, of course, to go ahead and right the wrong. He himself gives an apology. This is where, of course, we've seen the picture with him, of course, with Luke Cage, Falcon, and so on and so forth, because everybody has this type of respect for this man, right? Because
He was the one in the wheelchair?
He was the one in the wheelchair.
Okay.
Because at this point in time, he was in, of course, the childlike state.
Oh, that's
Right?
terrible.
Mind you, he is survived by other generations. I forget their names now, but there are three. There's a son, a daughter, and as well as a grandson who actually take up the mantle as well for him, right? So by means, he's lived on through generations, right? But we can see, once again, of course, the experimentation, of course, the deterioration of health, only to receive an apology later on, right? And of course, being revered by everybody else, right?
After they already done mash them up.
After, of course, the downfall.
That's crazy.
Nuts. If art doesn't imitate life in that comic book, right?
So that
what
might
else
be
does?
something interesting for a lot of our American viewers to take a look at. Well, all Africans should know the story, but I think that's, again, interesting.
It's huge. It's
yeah,
huge.
it's
huge, right?
I didn't know this story. That one, if anything, I'm probably gonna do a lot of research on
Yeah.
Mr. Isaiah Bradley. I want to hear. I know the story, but I want to hear it from the writer's perspective and the artist's perspective.
Right. The only thing, I've seen some of the pages of the artistry. I didn't like the actual artistry of it. This is just my opinion, right? It looked kind of goofy at times, looked real childless, as opposed to giving him that real
That's
strong, heroic.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right?
Look kind of big and look kind of.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, that's what threw me off, right, from the whole series, right? Once again, just my opinion, right?
Okay. All right. I think we have time for one more.
That's your favorite one.
Your favorite one.
Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo. Can we get a
Voodoo.
picture of Brother Voodoo, please?
Brother Voodoo.
Yo, shout out to all my Haitian people over there.
Sac passe.
Brother
My
Voodoo.
leg.
Brother Voodoo. I like Brother Voodoo.
Strange Tales.
The man.
First introduced in 1973. So he's a Haitian living in America. His brother, I think it's his brother,
Yeah.
that is dying, right? So he goes back home to Haiti. This, of course, he learns the art of.
Of voodoo.
There we go.
You
Love
said
it.
his powers are similar to
Doctor Strange, that's right.
And they call him Dr. Voodoo and also his brother Voodoo.
Right.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, man. So,
So magic. And here we're going into magic again.
Exactly, right? So, of course, energy. Of course, magic is really
It's energy.
spirituality as well.
It's spirituality.
Right?
Absolutely.
You see there, of course, he teams up with Black Panther, Luke Cage, Monica Rambeau times in as well. This is during the 2006. That's the same year, of course, Black Panther gets married. The same year, Storm, the Storm series comes out. So 2006 is a good year for of course, for us as
For
superheroes.
us. We didn't know that, though.
No, we don't know, but by all means,
Good
right?
year.
Exactly, right? That, in fact, they go back to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
There are a set of vampires that are roaming around in New Orleans at that point in time.
Of course.
This is where, of course, they all team up now, of course, to get rid of it, right?
So obviously we didn't have enough time to finish everything. So we are going to do a part 3 in a few weeks.
Yeah, you know,
we have to. This is a huge one. I want to thank Dwayne. Thank you for coming in, man.
No, thank you for having me, Simone. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're going to see him again. Everyone, thank you for listening. Listen, comment below on any superheroes we may have missed that we want to talk about next time.
By all means, chime in with your own superheroes
Please
as well.
like and share, and let's get this out there. Let's teach our people about us as superheroes. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Peace and love, family.
Bye.